Hi, my name's Jane. I'm a sports therapist, and these are a set of rehabilitation programs for boarders with a broken wrist, also known as distal radius fractures. There's going to be 3 videos. This is the first of 3. This is going to be the early stage rehabilitation video, so this is mainly aimed at those of you who are just out of a cast, but it's definitely worth watching it whilst you're still in the cast, because I'll show you some of the exercises can actually be performed whilst you're in the cast. In terms of timings, we're looking at the late stage videos to be when around the 12-week mark from when you fractured your wrist. 12 weeks being because the bone should be at the appropriate strength to start stressing fully. The exercises have been designed so that you can incorporate them into your day. I can't stress how important it is to do them regularly so you can get back to riding as soon as possible. When the cast comes off, you may feel that your wrist is a little bit vulnerable. It may be worth slipping on a tubey grip or a support just to give you an extra layer. You'll notice the muscles have weakened and visibly reduced in size, and we're aiming to build this strength back up. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so we're going to do some isometric contractions. This basically means the muscle gets thicker rather than lengthened, so the stress over the joint is pretty low. So this is a kind of exercise you can actually do whilst you're in a cast. So first of all, Natalie, what I'm going to get you to do is put your hand into a fist, okay? And then at 50% of what you think you could squeeze maximally, I want you to hold that for 10 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. You can also do this with an object in, so you're not squeezing your fingers together so tight. So do that again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's great. You do that 3 at a time, leaving about a 30-second gap in between for you to relax in between. You can do this kind of exercise throughout the day, and to be honest, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Working up, you can then work up in increments, so you can go up to 75% contraction. You're basically working up to 100% contraction, but you're reducing the time. So it's 100% contraction for only about 2 seconds. So if you want to do that there, yeah. So squeeze as hard as you can. 2. That's great. Perfect. Okay, these are range of motion exercises. They're basically wrist stretches. So Natalie, what I'm going to get you to do is, you can do this on a table as well, so anything high, or you can even do it on the floor or against a wall. So what I'm going to get you to do is you're leaning forward and just stretching the muscles here. Okay, so hold that for about 10 seconds. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's great. And then you're essentially doing the reverse. So holding back and leaning backwards, okay? Leaning backwards, yeah, leaning backwards with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You feel that down here? Yeah. Great. Okay, so they're really simple exercises. It all may seem a bit boring at this stage, but we're just trying to loosen up so we can do the strengthening exercises a bit later on. The only other thing that we can do is pronation and supination. So this is another exercise that can actually be done in the cast. So if you hold your hand out for me, Natalie, and all I want you to do is show me your palm, and then back again, and then back. Okay. Yeah. It may seem that a lot of the movement is coming from your shoulder and elbow, but we have actually got some movement here as well. So that's just loosening that here. That's great. Okay, so these are going to be some strengthening exercises. So first of all, Natalie, just off the edge of a surface, I just want you to flex down and then back up. We're just using gravity. It's the weight here to start off with, because it's pretty weak wrist. So for about 10 seconds, about 10 reps at a time, with about 10 seconds rest. That's great. We can introduce a weight as well, so if you want to do the same with a weight. So obviously building up to weight, you can also use a water bottle or anything you've got around the house just to add a little bit of resistance. We can also do some ulnar and radial deviation, which is essentially up and down like this, so making a fist with your thumb in the air, up and down, and again we can introduce a weight. So the same, we're looking at about 10 repetitions in about 3 sets, 10 seconds rest in between. That's great. Okay, this is another wrist strengthening exercise. All we've got here is a bucket filled with rice. Natalie's going to work her way down by scrunching the rice out of the way and work her way down to the bottom, and this is going to use all your wrist muscles. So Natalie, if you can put your hand in, and as I said, grab all the rice and try and work your way down that way. So all the muscles here working. That's great. Down at the bottom and back down, back up again. And then you can repeat that as many times as you want. Now we're going to do some core work. It's not directly related to wrist, but it will help in injury prevention. As boarders, a lot of the work comes from your abs and from your hips. So if we help to improve your core stability, we're going to help to reduce the amount of injury. You're less likely to fall. So I've placed the board here on a couple of wobble cushions. I'm going to help Natalie up, get her balanced, and then she's going to be in the boarding stance, slightly bent knees, arms out. So Natalie, if I help you on. Okay. Yep. Happy? Yep. Okay, and then you make sure you tense your abs, sit, arms out, boarding position, and hold as long as you can. That's great. So we're really working on the core muscles here. Your quads, your glutes are really working as well, core stabilizers. We can even do some wrist movements here as well, which will actually make the exercise a little bit harder. So if you just move your wrist up and down, the exercise is made harder because she's concentrating on moving the wrist. That's great. Okay. And then as well, what I can actually do is add some perturbation, so it makes it a little bit harder. Natalie's going to have to resist against me, so push here, wobbling a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, just like you would on a piece if a bump was to come along. This is the end of the early rehabilitation video. At this point, Natalie needs to be able to push her own weight off against a wall. So Natalie, if I can get you to just do a press up against the wall and push off. Yeah. That's great. It's really important to work at your own pace. Your bone is still healing at this point, so taking it slow. We're also looking at starting to build up your range of movement and strength. If you feel you're ready to do what Natalie just did, the press up against the wall, it's best to move on to the intermediate stage, which is the next video.